Have you ever walked past the county jail? Have you ever had an inmate bang on the glass to get your attention? Sadly, this is a fairly regular occurrence as I walk past the Phelps County Jail to my car after work each day. Therefore, I would like to present to you problems facing the Nebraska State Corrections Program, options to help remediate the issue, and ways that you can get involved. Many nonviolent inmates are in prison due to unnecessary sentencing, which has led to a massive issue of overcrowding. In Paul Hamill's article, Nebraska could reduce prison overcrowding by sentencing more nonviolent felons to probation, he states that there's a discrepancy in sentencing between judges across the state. The Nebraska average for sentencing for probation is 22%. However, in Douglas County, which contains Omaha, it's only at a 16% rate for probation, and in Lancaster County, which houses Lincoln, it's only 17% of the time that judges sentence probation as opposed to a prison or jail sentence. These inmates that are nonviolent felons would potentially be better suited for probation programs, as suggested by the criminal justice partners within the state of Nebraska, who presented a report to the governor and the legislature. They stated that doing pre-sentencing investigations would provide background information such as previous criminal history, employment and educational information, drug and substance abuse information as well. Therefore, these would help judges make the determination if probation is an option, and if so, what programs would be best suited. If we can sentence more nonviolent felons to probation, it would reduce the number of them within our prison system and make the available rehabilitative programs currently offered more available to those inmates that are already in prison. In Paul Hamill's article, National Group praises Nebraska's state-of-the-art prison rehab programs, offers ideas for expanding them. Some inmates currently have to wait to be released on parole until they finish their mandated programs, which they don't have access to currently because of the overcrowding issue. Therefore, by providing better rehabilitative programs and access, it will boost inmates' self-esteem through feelings of competency, confidence, and independence upon completion of these and re-entering the civilian world. Therefore, Nebraska prison system has to maintain its strategic plan in an effort to keep working towards fixing these issues. Fred Knapp, a reporter for NET News, did a piece titled "Strategic Plan for Nebraska Prisons Raises Questions." In the strategic plan, the Nebraska prisons set forth a goal to build a new facility containing 160 beds located at the Lincoln Community Correction Center. This building would provide a place for low security level inmates to reside while they're involved in rehabilitative programs such as work release. Therefore, this would remove those inmates from the general population, which would in turn ease overcrowding. And with overcrowding comes an increased level of violence. Joanne Young, a reporter for the Lincoln Journal-Star, had an article titled "Prisons See Threefold Increase in Inmate Assault of Correctional Officers." Since 2013, which saw 32 assaults against correctional officers, 2014 nearly doubled that with 59, and 2015 had 94 assaults against correctional officers. 2016 is currently on track to surpass that number of 94 assaults that was seen last year. Senator Koash also states within the article that he receives a multitude of letters from inmates stating that they feel that they have no voice, and he correlates that issue with the overcrowding to leading to this violence. Therefore, if we can ease overcrowding, we will decrease violence, and the programs that inmates have access to will be able to also contribute to the reduction in the probability of recidivism, which means returning back to prison. Currently, Nebraska has a 31% recidivism rate within 3 years of an inmate being released. Therefore, providing inmates with more long-term extensive training while in prison, they will be less likely to return. And in the article, or the editorial, by the Omaha World Herald, prison programs need public help. The long waiting lists do nothing to contribute or better the issues that we're currently seeing. There needs to be a reform of this program. So now we need to imagine how the prison system will benefit from taking an active role in tackling these issues. If the Nebraska legislature is able to restructure the sentencing guidelines and the Nebraska prison program therefore is able to remediate the issue of overcrowding, the outcomes will benefit all of Nebraska's citizens. However, there are instrumental values that come into play with this, such as being helpful and responsible. These also relate to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The helpful value relates to Maslow's need for safety. If we decide to take a charge and fix this issue and help reduce overcrowding, it will lessen the tensions, which will also decrease violence, in turn making a safer environment for the inmates. Responsibility value relates to Maslow's need for self-esteem and self-actualization. By taking the responsibility to make a change, we will offer a safer environment for our inmates who will also have more access to programs that they need. And in turn, these programs boost self-esteem, and through that, self-actualization happens as the inmates understand their worth and their capabilities. However, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a little rigid, but NEEF has a human scale development system which is more ontological, meaning it's more related to being and how the relations interact. Therefore, his ideas of participation, creation, and identity are what's going to be the best description of how this program would affect the inmates. Through participation, which can be done through interactions and expressing opinions, it will lead to receptiveness to others and their ideas, respect, and a willingness to adapt. And creation, through workshops and support groups, leads to more rational thinking and behavior, autonomy, and determination. These not only would boost their self-esteem, but it would also help with them feeling safer in an environment because it will be less volatile. And the identity is done through the establishment of social rhythms and standings. This leads to self-esteem, consistency, and belonging. This relates to Maslow's self-actualization as through the building of self-esteem. These values and needs lead to a better psyche and behavior, in turn decreasing violence and recidivism within our prison system. However, if the Nebraska legislature and prison system is unable to accomplish necessary tasks to address these issues, there will be consequences that are detrimental not just to the prison system but to citizens as well. Therefore, it's only logical to work towards reforming the Nebraska prison system and sentencing guidelines to prevent further issues. So, how do we do this? You can call, write, or email your local senator or senators within your region, and you can also make an appointment to speak with them directly during legislative days. This will help make a change within the prison system, and ultimately it is our responsibility to make that first step. Therefore, if the Nebraska legislature does in fact reform the sentencing guidelines, it will be a catalyst to the restructuring of the prison system, and it will lead to the remediation of the other issues that have been presented. Therefore, we will be helping make a difference. And lastly, it's only logical that we understand that change can only happen when we get involved.